For almost 20 years, world football operated around a fixed, predictable axis. Two men hoarded the sport's oxygen, its trophies, and its attention. Now they have stepped off the European stage, leaving an unsettling silence behind them. Lionel Messi represented one half of a perfect isolated binary system, a player whose statistical dominance and creative output set an impossibly high ceiling for what a single athlete could achieve. On the other side sat Cristiano Ronaldo. By cultivating a godlike status and an absolute obsession with perfection, he pushed their mutual rivalry to a height that consumed the rest of the sport. With both kings abdicating their monopoly, the sport faces an immediate question. Who inherits the right to hold world football's greatest prize? Kylian Mbappé seemed like the preordained successor. Armed with explosive pace and a World Cup secured at age 19, he carries the immense, suffocating weight of French national expectation on his shoulders. Stylistically, his polar opposite arrived in Erling Haaland. The Norwegian stripped the game down to its rawest elements, engineering himself into a ruthless, highly specialized machine for scoring goals. Then came Jude Bellingham. Arriving at Real Madrid, he displayed veteran-level maturity, dictating the midfield of the world's most demanding club at 20 years old. And alongside him, Vinícius Júnior, a Brazilian winger whose career is defined by extraordinary resilience, answering intense physical opposition and hostility with devastating flair. But sheer, generational talent is no longer enough to secure the throne. Because the previous era normalized absolute weekly perfection, the crown itself has become far too heavy for any single successor to bear alone. Today's media landscape operates with crushing velocity. Every misplaced pass, missed penalty, or slight dip in form is amplified by real-time global scrutiny into a full-scale crisis. These heirs are expected to effortlessly dominate 38-game domestic leagues, conquer Europe, and carry their national teams through grueling summer tournaments without a drop in performance. Beyond the pitch, they fight exhausting, highly visible battles. Players are frequently forced into hostile environments, absorbing immense psychological tolls to combat systemic racism and targeted abuse in the stands. The pursuit of an absolute crown has transformed into a high-stakes crucible, one that threatens to burn anyone attempting to carry its weight in isolation. Before these older heirs can even consolidate their power, the natural order is being disrupted by a secondary wave. A tidal surge of teenage talent is infiltrating the elite levels of the sport faster than historically possible. Lamine Yamal shattered European Championship age records, dismantling seasoned international defenses with the poise and confidence of a veteran, all before turning 17. In Brazil, Endrick secured a move to the Spanish capital and debuted for his national team, carrying the heavy historical expectations of a country desperate for its next icon before reaching adulthood. Germany's Jamal Musiala provides the blueprint for this new breed. Highly technical, tactically fluid, and entirely fearless, he represents a youth movement redefining how European midfields operate. This rapid influx of hyper-advanced youth proves the timeline for greatness has drastically accelerated. The window of opportunity is too narrow and the competition too dense for any single player to establish a lasting monopoly. The volume of elite talent dismantled the one-on-one rivalry model. The battle is now a volatile, multi-front war. Players aren't just competing against rivals in other leagues. They fight for dominance against domestic teammates, while simultaneously fending off international prodigies. On the pitch, this translates into intense territorial battles. Multiple factions, armed with specialized tactical systems, clash for inches of space and moments of control. Legacies are now built within a chaotic ecosystem of highly specialized threats, where long-term success depends more on consistent adaptability than on defeating any single nemesis. At the highest level, football has mutated into a high-tech industry. It is driven by artificial intelligence scouting networks, global media optimization, and granular biometric analytics. Yet beneath the hyper-commercialization, the simple, emotional core of the game remains untouched. All you need is a ball, some open space, and a community. Because of global connectivity, those kids playing in the streets are linked directly to superstars on the world stage, with a clear, instant path. This continuous global talent pipeline makes it increasingly difficult for any one player to stay ahead. Elite ability is surfacing in too many places, too quickly for old hierarchies to remain fixed. We have to stop looking for the next single figurehead to replace what we lost. Football doesn't need one anymore. The new generation is redefining greatness as a collective achievement. It is a shared ecosystem, distributed across wildly different players, contrasting tactical styles and overlapping narratives. The conditions that allowed for a two-man monopoly have dissolved. Success is now a distributed achievement, shared across a diverse landscape of styles and stories. Two legends may have written football's greatest chapter, but history is already waiting for this new collective of authors. Join us for our milestone 100th episode as we explore the history and mechanics of the greatest sport ever created.